Hi, and welcome to Run Local's Summer Training Series, where we bring you tips and tricks to crush your next training goal. I'm Katie, Run Local's Community Manager and Coach. I'm a certified group fitness instructor, and I'm also a certified running coach. And today I am here to address the basics with you. Good running form. So before you hit the ground running this summer, we want to make sure that you have the basic foundation of good running form. That's going to help you run more efficiently, more comfortably, and most importantly, injury-free. So let's get started today. We're going to talk about 4 primary elements of good running form, and that is posture, midfoot landing, cadence, and forward lean. If we talk about posture, we're going to talk about that from the ground up. If you're sitting down and watching this video and you'd like to stand up and reset your posture, it feels wonderful. We encourage you to set your posture up before your run, and if you ever start to feel like you're losing your posture as you fatigue mid-run, reset it even in the middle of your run. So from the ground up, I want you to make sure that your feet are underneath your hips and that your toes are pointed forward. We want to make sure that we have a soft bend in our knees and that we're never locking out the knees, even when we're just standing. Soft knees are going to help us to safely absorb impact, which becomes very important when we start moving down the road. Moving up the chain, we want to stack up our hips, we want to stack up and relax our shoulders, and we want to think about having a nice long spine. The easiest way to reset your tall posture is to just inhale, reach your arms directly above the head. That's going to naturally lengthen your spine, and then to simply exhale. So again, pre-run, mid-run, post-run, anytime you need to reset your posture, just take a deep breath, bring your arms above. It's going to naturally lengthen you up, and then simply exhale, keeping your shoulders relaxed and away from your ears. Your eye gaze should be in front of you. Make sure that you're not staring at the ground. When your head does drop, that will force your shoulders to round and take you out of good running posture. All right, so we want to be upright, eye gaze forward, relaxed shoulders. And when we talk about our arms, we want to make sure that we have a nice, relaxed 90-degree movement in our arms and that we're paying special attention not to cross and rotate across our midline. Think about a line drawn down the center of your body, and we want to just generally drive our arms forward and back with a lightly clasped fist. So you want to make sure that you're not clasping your hands so tight that you would essentially, if you had a potato chip in your hand, you want to make sure that you're not crushing the potato chip, and you also want to make sure that you're not dropping the potato chip. So just lightly clasped hands, a nice relaxed forward and back driving of the arms, and paying attention that you're not rotating across your midline. All right, so that's a basic from the ground up posture reset. If we talk about element 2 of good form running, that's midfoot landing. And the essence of that you want to keep in mind is connecting to the ground with your entire foot. That is when we are most efficient in our movement. And we're going to do a few drills today to reinforce that. So again, if you're sitting down and you'd like to stand up, you can go ahead and do this, or you can just watch along. So let's do a couple little drills. I'm going to have you march in place, lifting up your knees, keeping your foot flat, and I want you to just land right underneath your body, connecting with your entire foot flat to the ground. Okay? So that's going to feel very natural, very comfortable, the body moving as it was designed. Now, by comparison, I'd like you to try to march on the spot just on your toes. So connecting to the ground only on your forefoot. Okay, just by doing this for a short amount of time, you are going to feel your calves being disproportionately overworked. All right, so we want to make sure that we are not landing on the toes. That is going to overwork and overstrain our calf muscles. All right, now another comparison. Go ahead and march in place just on your heels. If you do this for even a short period of time, you're going to start to very quickly feel discomfort in the front of your legs, your shins. So if you're someone that is predisposed to shin splints or tends to have shin splints flare up, it might be because you're having a tendency to spend more time landing on your heels. You can also notice that as I'm landing on my heels, my knees are also fairly locked out, and we talked about the importance of having soft knees. Okay, so by comparison, go ahead and march on the spot again, landing directly under your body with your foot flat to the ground. When that foot lands flat, we don't have discomfort and we have proper landing of the body. Okay, so remember, we don't want to land on our toes. We don't want to land on our heels. We want to connect to the ground with the foot flat, connecting midfoot to the ground. Okay? Another little drill that you can do is a balance drill. So remember, if we freeze frame our running, we're landing on one foot at a time, and we have to think about the importance of single leg balance. So as you're standing there, I'd like you to lift one knee up and just practice balancing on one foot with your foot completely flat to the ground. It's fairly easy to do. You're using the full surface area of your foot connected to the ground to support you. All right? Now, by comparison, try to balance on one foot simply on your toes. Okay, so I'm lifting up to my toe with my grounded leg and I'm trying to balance. And you can see there's an extreme amount of instability. Same thing if I try to balance on my heel. Okay, a large amount of instability. So if you think about freeze framing your run, if you're landing on your heel or on your toe at the point of impact, you're landing in an extremely unstable position where your body has to very quickly correct that before you take your next step. Whereas if you landed flat foot on the ground underneath your body, then you can just safely move to your next stride. Okay, so your body's not going to have to do these drastic corrections for an error in your form. Okay, so just think about the importance of connecting underneath your body with your whole foot. All right, so that's going to be our basic importance of midfoot landing and making sure that you are truly landing underneath your body with soft knees. Okay, so the other thing that we want to make sure of is that we're not overstriding. Okay, so overstriding means that we're stepping out and landing outside of our body range. You can see that usually when people overstride, they do tend to heel strike and then pull themselves back over. We want to make sure that we are landing right under our body. Okay, so in addition to a midfoot landing, it's also landing right underneath the body with a soft knee. If you're overstriding and landing outside of your body, your knee tends to be locked, not in a safe position to safely absorb impact. Demonstration of that. Go ahead and stand up, and if you'd like to just jump on the spot with soft knees and notice how your body is functioning properly, safely absorbing the impact of your connection to the ground, soft knees. Okay, now try to do that same exercise, jumping up and down with locked knees. You're going to feel that impact of locked knee landing very much more uncomfortable. Okay, so your knee is not going to be in a position to safely absorb. Your muscles aren't going to be in a position to safely absorb if you are locking yourself out. Okay, so related to that midfoot landing is also soft knee landing underneath the body, making sure that you're not overstriding, locking out, landing on the heel, having to correct, and at the same time creating a lot of discomfort for your body. Also could possibly lead to injury. Okay, so leading right from that midfoot landing, it goes right into cadence. It goes right into that idea of moving your feet up and off the ground quickly and landing underneath your body rather than out in front. Now, you might have heard this number before, that the optimum cadence for running is 180 beats per minute. If you think that turnover of your feet is something that you could really improve upon, most of us could, I encourage you to download a metronome app on your phone. There's lots of them out there. Go ahead and program it to 180 beats per minute, even 170, 165 beats per minute. Turn on the metronome, hear the frequency of that cadence, and try just jogging on the spot, maybe even just for a pre-run warm-up, and see how that cadence feels. Most people are moving their feet at a much slower cadence, meaning that they're spending more time on the ground, And the more time we spend on the ground, the more likely that we are going to commit some sort of error. So we want to get the feet up and off the ground quickly. And remember that cadence isn't an absolute correlation to pace. So you might be thinking, well, I'm not a fast runner. That's okay. It's just the frequency that you're picking your feet up. It's not necessarily your forward speed. However, you will find that if you're more efficient in your cadence, you'll naturally start to move faster. All right, so again, download a metronome, turn those beeps on, and see if you can pick up your feet a little more quickly, up and off the ground, short, quick strides. Because if we're moving quickly up and off the ground, chances are we're landing underneath our body with a flat foot, which goes right back to that midfoot landing, okay? If you're going slow, chances are, slower in your cadence, chances are you might be overstriding, taking longer on the ground to self-correct before taking the next step. All right, so again, faster turn over the feet means we're going to be moving more efficiently with good form. All right, one final point today, and that is forward lean. And that means that as we're moving, we want to make sure that we have just a slight forward lean from our ankles, not from our hips. So we want to make sure that we're not collapsing forward, but just a slight forward lean. Those of you who have ponytails, you can kind of imagine that someone's kind of pulling you up and over with the ponytail so that you're generally just have a nice forward lean from your ankles, that you're moving in the direction that you are heading. Some people have a tendency to lean back and to kind of create a braking force. And that's just something that you want to pay special attention to, because again, that lean back usually also corresponds to an overstride, to a locked out knee, to a heel landing. All right, so slight forward lean from your ankles is going to be another tenet of good form running that's going to also connect back to keep moving the feet off the ground quickly, to landing directly under your body on your midfoot with a soft knee landing. All right, so just remember that forward lean does not mean that your posture is collapsing. It just means that we're moving forward in the direction that we want to go rather than leaning back and away. Okay, that is going to also come into play when we talk about hill training and proper hill running form, especially downhill running. Tendency is to lean back, and you'll know after this video that anytime we lean back, we've lost good form running. We always want to keep a forward lean going. All right, I hope that these tips and tricks were useful for you. Remember that awareness is the first step to change. So when you go out and you knock out your miles today, just try to generally think about those things. Posture, midfoot landing, quick cadence off the ground, and a slight forward lean from your ankles. And I bet that you will feel that you're running stronger, better, and more efficiently. All right, so remember, good form running, going to keep you injury-free, going to keep you moving down the road, going to help you crush your training goals as you get going this summer. So happy training and have a wonderful day of running. Bye.